Hey dreamers, Bryce here from Midnight Notion, singer, songwriter, musician, big fan of Metallica, but I have no idea what my favorite Metallica song is. Could it be the Outlaw Torn? Let's use math to find out. Cue the intro.
Search it, give it to me now!
For the best Metallica song! The Outlaw Torn, track number 14 from the Load album, and the very, very last track. I'm so excited to get into it. I'm even more excited to get rid of this gross background. I know we're just going to be replacing it with another gross background, but either way, it's exciting to move on to the next record. And what a way to finish the record. I think that this song is a lot of fun. I think that I think that a lot of fans like this one, but that's probably mostly because of S&M and S&M 2. Regardless, we're going to listen to it. You and I, just me and you. We're going to listen to it. I'm going to blah, blah, blah anytime I hear something interesting. And then I'm going to grade it using the following criteria: composition, memorability, emotional response, instrumentation, and lyrics. Each category is a 0 to 4 scale with a grand total possible of points of 20. We'll find out at the end of this video if it has enough to make it to the top 20. Now, I need you to hit that subscribe button. It's just a little bit, move your mouse just a little bit, and then there it is. Hit it. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, you're awesome. Thank you so much. Hey, you know what? I appreciate you. Thanks for being here. Let's listen to some music. Yeah. The Outlaw Torn. Nice fade in and a fade out. Again, real slow drum beat. Love right away. We don't have official notes yet. We have just like a scraping of the guitar. They're holding the strings and they're just going shunk, 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 shunk. Well, actually, no, now that I think of it, no, it sounds like they might be actually hitting notes, but it's off a little bit. There's something, it's not a straight fifth chord. They usually do a lot of power chords, which is the 1 and the 5. This sounds like it might be F and A sharp. I don't know for sure. And I know that it's tuned down, but this sounds... I don't know. I don't know whether this is a scratch or if it's a note. I'm pretty sure it's a scratch. They're holding down the strings and they're just shunk, 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 shunk. But it depends on where your hand is on the neck. If it's higher up, you're going to get a more of a kink, kink. And down, you're going to get more of that shunk, shunk. And so it sounds to me like a scratch. But now I'm starting to question myself. Let me know in the comments if you know. I never learned the intro, but every once in a while we get a wow from Kirk, and that is just an excellent way to build this groove. We're just grooving, 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 row. We're pouncing. We got it like a lion. Row, row. Is that what lions sound like? I don't know. Meow. I love, love, love this main riff. There's something so cool about it. Let's talk about it. Let's dissect it a little bit. We have some open notes and we have some palm muted notes. So what is palm muting? Palm muting is when you play the string of the guitar, but you're kind of muting it with your palm. So you don't get like a full ja, you get a junk, 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 junk. And so what they're doing is ja-da, ja-da, ja-da. Right? They're doing open notes. So like there's a pattern of a couple notes played normal with a palm mute in between. I think we're in 3s. Let's count it out. And then we have this pull down. Okay, so it's a pattern. I was wrong. It's not just straight 3s. Do-do, do, do-do. But it's not just straight those notes. There's those palm mutes in between. Do-do, 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 do-do. I got the pattern all wrong. I'm just trying to tell you that we're alternating between palm mutes and playing, and that pattern is really cool. And then it breathes because the drums are just playing just the straight. and an occasional fill to go into the next section. But it's really cool how we have this palm muted section, gets your head banging, and then na 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 na. It really, really sings beautiful. There's those triplet fills. I love how the guitar, the little shrink, it's not a note, it's just like a pull off of the strings, but there's a delay on that guitar. So you hear like the shrink, 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 and that's going to come throughout the song. I'm going to let this song play a little bit more than other songs because it's pretty long. I don't want to stop it every 5 seconds, but I do want to point out that, gosh, this is so cool. We have this big, humongous, like we have a steady groove, like, oh, it's coming, it's coming. Here's the riff, and now we're coming back down, right? We didn't explode all the way. We didn't blow our load right up at the beginning of the song. We introduced something, and we're pulling back by holding out that note, and then coming back to this little bass. We get to hear Jason move a little bit more. It's really nice to hear him in some songs. So now we've got the verse, and we're gonna hear not just James's singing, but we're gonna hear like this this low voice in the background. You'll listen for the grit voice. I love that tease, right? For Paku, Paku, boom! And it sounds like we're going to explode into this big section again, but it's just a tease. Paku, Paku, boom! And they're just holding out, and they're coming back down again. It's very beautiful.
I ride the dirt, I ride the tide. For you, I search the outside, search inside. Take back what you left me. I know
Oh, no.
I'll always burn
Wrong. I'm air guitaring parts that don't exist.
to be the one who seeks, so I may find. And now I wait my whole lifetime.
Back to the main room. What? Sing it. Ooh. Okay, let's talk about that. We had that little build, and then a cymbal mute. Just a nice, I really love that. I am a sucker for build-ups that sound like they're going somewhere and then stop suddenly. Brick wall. We're not going where you thought we were going. We're going to actually come back down. Really beautiful. This chorus is so fun to sing. I have to admit, I was at Outlaw Torn. I was at S&M 2 live last year in San Francisco. They played this song, and I was just screaming, Outlaw Torn, and it's so fun. But I sometimes forget. I almost want that to happen more often in the chorus. I tend to not know how long to wait before it's sung. So I was singing it in the wrong place in some cases. So whoops, my bad. But I really appreciate how empty that chorus is. Have you just recognize how empty it is? There's not a lot going on. It's just a main riff, and I'm Outlaw Torn. That's it. Hold out the note. Let the words speak for themselves. You don't have to say anything more. Hold it out. Sing your heart out. And then back to the riff. It's such a nice, breathing chorus. I love it. So simple. So simple. Yes. that delay effect. So cool. There you go. There's that fill from Bleeding Me. HyperX, that's your fill again. I'm gonna play it one more time. Triple it, da do do. It's same as the opening to 2x4. We're gonna play it one more time. A little bit different. I really, really love, I know I've said it already, but that delay, when they do a little, that the way that keeps coming back over and over, man, delays can be really, really cool. They can be very painful. When you get a wrong note, it comes back to visit you over and over and over again. But when you do it this well, I want to point out that you can't just put a delay pedal, put your guitar through a delay pedal and get this sound and just, it's done, right? You can't have this perfect. This is a thing that needs to be engaged at a certain time. And I'd also argue that it might not even be a delay pedal at all. It could be because of the way recording works. When you're in the studio, you do a lot of different things. You do a lot of layered sounds to get the right effect. And so sometimes what sounds like a delay to gear users was actually recorded not as a digital, not as like a pedal effect, but as a production effect. Let me explain. If you record a song or record a note, right? That's all they recorded. And they've got this waveform. They could have maybe copy pasted that waveform and just made it lower in volume each time. I don't know if they were using Pro Tools at this point in their career. I think they're still on tape as of this record. So that's less likely that they were copy pasting, because they would have had to record it onto a tape, and it's a whole process. I am wagering that maybe they sent the guitar track, right? They sent that into a delay, and then they sent that output into another delay, and so that it's just a, but it goes into one, into the next, because it's got a perfect timing to it. A lot of delay pedals maybe only repeat the sound once or twice, but this one carries in what sounds like a controlled way. So correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not the best sound engineer in the world, but I would wager that that sound is not just a guitar and a delay pedal, that this is something done in production. That is okay. If you're going to perform it live and you want to have that same effect, you're going to have somebody who can engage that effect for you, and it's only going to happen a certain amount of times. Also, the thing that works for this is that nothing else is happening during this part of the song. Because it's just drums and bass, you could just and let it echo, and then cut it off because you're not playing for a while. If you keep this delay on for the whole song and it gets to the doo-doo, doo-doo, the main riff, you're going to be hearing that doo-doo, 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 doo. And by the time it changes to the ba-na-na, we're still going to doo-doo, doo-doo in the background. It's going to be super confusing, super disorienting. So when it comes to delay pedals, you got to know when to turn them on and when to turn them off. And then also, I don't know. Again, I've said this before. I'm not an effects guy. I don't know how delay pedals work. There's probably a pedal that does this just fine. But Metallica has the money and the crew to be able to pull this off live. They could thread it through 1,000, pedals or 1,000 delay processors at no problem. But for just a general public person, just a regular Joe Schmo band, this might take a little bit more work to get that effect. Just saying. It's probably possible. I'm probably all wrong. I don't know. I'm a distortion on, distortion off kind of guy. This video's long enough. Let's get back to the song.
The more I search, the more I need. Oh, yeah. The more I bless, the more I bleed.
Oh, he's not doing it there, of course.
You make me smash the clock and feel I'd rather die behind the wheel.
that's why. He's doing it more frequently this chorus. We have a change in the riff. We have a doo-doo, little bit different this time around. Really nice. This is building. This is composition. This is what I've been talking about this whole time. That first chorus, Outlaw Torn, just twice. It's like the riff is like 4 times long or something like that, and he only sang it 2 times. This chorus, he's doing it every time as I expected the first time. So I don't know. It's growth, man. It's the reverse effect on the vocals. Hear it? That was cool. Cymbal mute on the 1, kick and the hi-hat on the 2, and the snare and the cymbal on the 3. I've been trying to point out that hi-hat fell a couple of times, but I keep forgetting to. Yeah. All right. Now listen, there's a lot of stuff going on here. That bass, just riding on that low E flat. I think it's E flat. Just letting it groove, but you can hear a grunginess to his bass. It's not just a straight through. This has got like some sort of a chorus or flange on it. Again, I get those two mixed up every single time, but it's got this real mean sounding effect on it. And then we've got these guitars we get this volume swell going on. It could be a pedal, it could be manually operated, but basically he's hitting the note first with the guitar off or the volume down, and then gradually raising the volume. And then there's an echo off of that, a nice delay. Again, it sounds very controlled. Listen to where the delay is, where the guitar is in the mix and where the delay ends up. It's interesting to me. What do you picture here? What's happening here? If this is a music video, what do you see? Is this like traveling through a rundown city? Little build, wait for the Paku Paku. Cool. I gotta go back to that. Listen to that drag on his voice. He doesn't quite get to the note. He just slow bend all the way. Just oh, I love that so much. Well done, sir.
Left this outlaw torn.
There's a slight drop on the end too. And now the James solo. Calling back to that bridge, that middle section. Building up a little bit. I love this. This riff is very similar to that main riff. Right? I'm getting the rhythm wrong again. I know. But it's a very similar pattern. In the difference is that in the intro, it's more of a chord with some movement on it. They're playing multiple notes. They've got that E or E flat, and they're like doing this hammer-on thing, but that low E flat stays the same. There it is. This is just a single string, that low E, but then he's riffing up on the high end. So he's going from that low E flat to a D flat to the high E flat. So he's going all the way up to the octave of 1, 7, 8. So we got a pattern of the threes. Finally, what I was saying in the intro comes back at the end. 1, 2, 3. Open 2, 3. Open 2, 3. And repeat, and then there's a little lick on the end. Really cool. Pay attention to how the drums groove too, how they build. Now we got a low rhythm climbing. Is that chromatic? We got a straight pattern. First time in the song, right? The rhythm is playing more. Got to fade out, unfortunately. Now, from what I can tell, from what I've read, from what I've heard, this fade out wasn't intentional. So that's why, I've talked a little bit about earning your fade outs, and this one unfortunately didn't earn the fade out. I think that we could jam on this riff a lot more. I think we could build it up to something even farther. But the story that I've heard is that this song is actually supposed to be 11 minutes long, but something about the record, like the CD could only hold so many songs or so many minutes of music. And so they had to fade off the ending because there just wasn't enough time on the record, which is unfortunate because in my opinion, you could have just dropped Thorn Within and you would have been fine. But regardless, that's the song we're stuck with. And this is the song that we're now going to give points to. Let's do this thing. Whoosh. Composition. This song has so many wonderful things to be celebrated. I think the biggest knock to the song is that it fades out at the end without really giving us a sense of I don't know. I don't feel like it was an earned fade out. And as we discussed just moments ago, it wasn't an earned fade out. It wasn't intended to be that way. Or maybe it was intended to fade out. I haven't actually listened to the full 11-minute version, so maybe I should check that out. But I know that the live version ends. And I know that there are ways to end a song that I like the idea that an outlaw that's torn, that's just going on, that's waiting their whole lifetime, just that whole idea of going on and on and on. I like that as a concept for a fade out song. But the section that fades out did not feel like it built to a place where it earned the fade out, the fade out, the fade out, the fade out. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but for me, for a composition to really earn that fade out, we have to get to a certain point. And I feel like that point peaked somewhere in the last chorus, and then we come back down again and we start rising up, but we never really get to the fullness of that last chorus. So I would rather, from a big heavy spot, slowly come down and fade out as you're slowly coming down, rather than coming all the way down and building back up and not completing the build. So that's the only thing I can really knock. But I love, love, love how that intro is just the scratches. I love how we build to a lot of false, like we, Paku, Paku, it's going to be big. Nope, just kidding, not big. We're going to come down again. There's a lot of teases throughout the song, and that's what keeps us guessing and wanting to move forward. I love that the second chorus is different from the first chorus. We get a different additional parts to it. I love that it doesn't even really fall into the same thing. It's just verse, chorus, and then, well, I guess it does. And then bridge solo and then chorus. Okay, same old, but it still feels different because we have that huge section. Every verse, the bass just gets to just be bass and drums. For once, the guitars sit back. And you don't get that in Metallica. They're a guitar-driven rock band. They don't ever just have the guitars silent. So this is fresh, it's new, it's entertaining, it's fun. It's a little long, but I enjoy it. Compositionally, it's almost the best. I'm going to give them a 3. Memorability. I happen to think that main riff and Outlaw Torn are both the most memorable parts of the song, and they come back regularly enough that it's memorable for me. I don't know much what else I can say. Even that little lick do 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 during the ending, during that solo, that comes in a little bit maybe during the middle part, but either way, I think there's a lot of moments in the song. It has a lot of moments, and a good song needs to have moments, not just one little hook, but moments, does that make sense? It has a real build to it. It's got a story. I feel like I just watched a movie, and that means a lot to me. For me, this one's pretty memorable. I'm going to give it a 3. Emotional response. I'm always going to be happy to hear this song. Admittedly, I got to be in a mood for it. This isn't a song that you can just put on whenever you feel like it. This is a song that you're I imagine back to when I was first getting into Metallica. I'd put my little dinky little headphones on. I'd have my Discman, right? And I'd just listen to it. I'd lay down on the couch, close my eyes, and just feel the music. And this is a song that's perfect for when you're listening actively to music. Maybe it would be nice to have in the background as well. But if you're man, I want to jam, I want to get pumped up, this song is going to drop all that energy. There's not a whole lot of energy in the song. It really comes from those Paku Paku moments, and that's really cool. But it's got such a roller coaster to it that it's not something you would just put on whenever you feel like it. It's definitely a mood-based thing. And if I go see Metallica live and they've already played One and Fade to Black and all their other songs that have all of these roller coaster things, this one might feel it's so long, right? But on its own, this song really sings. It's very beautiful. It's just really great. Emotionally, I'm happy to hear it. This one gets a 3. Instrumentation. This song is giving everyone a chance to shine. James's vocals, top of the line. Bass. We got some really cool bass effects, and you can hear them because the guitars aren't playing. And then the guitars and those solos, the way those solos build, the way we have those volume pedals. It's singing, it's crying. It reminds me a lot of My Friend of Misery or Orion. There's a lot of really beautiful instrumental. If this album was going to have an instrumental, this is probably the closest we're going to get. And it's just beautiful. I love what they're doing. Even Lars isn't going too hard. He's holding back. They're all playing together. It's what I love to hear in Metallica. Awesome job. This one, instrumentally, gets a 4. Lyrics. Now, admittedly, I don't have the song memorized as much as I would like to, but the good thing about this song is there isn't a lot to memorize. So on I wait my whole lifetime for you. That's half the song. It's stated twice in the first verse and twice in the second verse. And then there's a second two lines in each verse, and then there's the chorus, and that's the whole song. And I think that makes for a very memorable song, very easy to catch on to. I may not remember the order of hear me, save me, hold me. I may not remember how those come in, but I appreciate that section of the song. If I start to come undone, stitch me together. We have this person that's just longing, just like, please help me. But also, if I look sincere, maybe there's some deeper emotional toil going on inside, right? There's some real troubles brewing inside. So if I start to become sincere, beware, because you never know when I could blow up or something. You're getting a little too close, maybe. I think that might be what he's trying to say. If I'm sincere, maybe you're too close to me and now you're susceptible to whatever could happen because I'm so unstable, because of just like, I don't know exactly what the song is trying to say, but I'm just imagining the word outlaw, and I'm imagining the word torn. And I just recently, as a matter of fact, like before filming this, learned that it's outlaw of torn in the chorus. What? Blown my mind. I did not know that that's what he was saying, because of is so silent you don't hear the v part. And so I just hear Outlaw Torn because that's the title, but apparently that's not what they're saying in the chorus. Outlaw Torn. Never knew it before. But I don't know. I think there's a lot of really cool things in these lyrics. It stands out to me. They're using some really great symbolism, and not really symbolism. They're just straight telling it, but it just, in the word choice, it feels very, for lack of a better word, torn. They feel like they're out of faith and lying naked on the floor. So if you know, you know. I like these lyrics a lot. So points to them. We'll give them a 3. And so Outlaw Torn gets a grand total of 16 points. Is it enough? Let's check the top 20. Oh my God, it barely made it in 19th place out of the top 20. I did not expect this, but holy moly, I am excited about it. We finished this record off. Look at how many load songs are up here. That's pretty impressive. I know a lot of you are pretty upset about me for liking these songs, but I mean, honestly, do the math. Instrumentation, memorability, lyrics, composition, and emotional response. Put all of them together, add them up. This is what I got, and I think this is a pretty fair score. I'm so sad to see Dyer's Eve gone. It's been hanging on for its dear life for so long, and it's finally no longer on the board. We'll miss you, Dyer's Eve, but this is the top 10 for now, and I'm telling you, there's a couple more records to go. We're barely only halfway through. I'm sure that this top 20 is going to keep changing. So now it's your turn. In the comments below, using my criteria, what score would you give this song? Make sure you check out my music. Midnight Notion is available on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your music online. And of course, smash that subscribe button, because tomorrow we're coming back with a brand new background, and we're going to figure out whatever James is desiring. What do you think he desires? We'll find out then. See you later. Thanks for watching.